Can I mention just some tag teams you worked with? You can just tell me
Sure.
first thing that comes to your head. If let's start with Sheik and Volkov.
Sheik and Volkov. Wow. Yeah, they were interesting to work with. The thing about Sheik and Volkov is they could get great heat on you, but it was really hard to make a comeback on those guys. Nikolai, you would have to shoot to pick them up. People may give them an ass, uh, to slam them. It was a shoot, it is you give them a clothesline or a drop kick that go down in three stages, to the um, to the side, to their leg, to the hip, to the elbow, finally to the back. I mean,
Yeah,
it was difficult. Then you take the Hart Foundation and you go, man, Big Jim could go. Jim Neidhart could
right.
go, man. And you put Bret Hart in with him, and what a difference, total
Yeah.
difference. But yeah, those guys would get the best heat, but the hardest to have a comeback with.
Demolition.
Demolition was a great all around team. Um, they'd get, Barry, I love those guys, two classy guys,
For
uh,
sure.
both of them. And uh, great gimmick, get good heat, can make a good comeback, have good matches, good solid matches all the time. Demolition were spot on.
I thought the Islanders were very underrated. How'd you like working with the Islanders?
Great, very intimidating. uh, Great guys. This kind of reminds me of working with the Samoans with Alpha and Sika. God bless them. Alpha and Sika were like the first tag team that I worked with in WWF. I think it was before Junior took over, and they were scary. It was like 1984, 83, 84, 83, maybe, and 83, I think. And just Fuji was their manager, and God bless Harry, Mr. Fuji. He was a wonderful man, and those guys were just so intimidating. And then the Islanders were just part of the bloodline.
Yeah. Were you teaming with Tony Garea at the time?
I teamed with Tony a lot. Yeah, during that time, you know, we also had a good tag run. Didn't get the
What about
belts,
what about working with the Rougeos?
but I wasn't promised with the belts with them. Um, yeah, the Rougeos were both great workers, but it's harder when you're both baby faces having a baby face tag team match a lot of times. Even though they turned heel in the match, because if we were in Canada, we could turn heel, but they were always good guys to work with, and they worked hard. They worked very, very hard, both of them.
Valentine and Beefcake?
Oh man, golly, I'll never forget. We're working with Valentine and Beefcake in Madison Square Gardens, and we're supposed to go over. And we did a Broadway in Jersey at the Meadowlands a couple of nights before. And this guy named Professor Elliott was the ring keeper. Did you know Elliott, the ring keeper guy, the bell keeper? Anyway, he would Mike. I don't know if you remember him. Anyway, he was Vince's timekeeper, and so he was at the match where we went Broadway, 30 minutes, and now we're in the garden. We're going over, and we're in a 1 hour time limit match. We were just working our butts off, and all of a sudden Brunsey hands me the hottest tag, and I come in and the roof, boom, one punch, the roof comes off. Madison Square Garden, it blows off. That's one of the most unbelievable feelings you can have. And we
Right.
had those people right in the palm of our hand, and everybody had just worked their fannies off to the max this whole time to get to this culmination. And before I even got to hit him again or throw him into the ropes, um, Elliot's ringing the bell, ding, 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 ding. And we're going, what the heck? Unbelievable. We just couldn't believe it. I chased Elliot. I was so upset. I chased poor Elliot around the ring, and he just ran and hid somewhere. I couldn't believe that. Still to this day.
Oh,
Wow.
he just made a mistake. It was just that's all that happened.
Oh, it's a big mistake. You know,
Yeah.
you're there, we're all pros, man. We got to know
Right.
the finish. We got to know what's going on. And, he didn't know the time limit, obviously, or he forgot it. And
Wow.
if you're going to be, especially if you're going to be in Madison Square Garden, I mean, if you're going to be in, Wirt High School or, Jefferson
Right.
High School or whatever, okay, but not in Madison Square Garden. There's no excuse. I mean, you may drop a spot in the ring, but we're all pros. We can pick that up. You can't pick it up when somebody rings the bell. You can't undo the bell.
Right.
Unring the
Well,
bell. That's like unring
uh,
the bell. There you go. That's exactly, that expression. You can't unring the bell. There it is.
last team, Terry and Dory Funk.
Pardon me. Terry and
The
Dory.
last team, Terry and Dory Funk.
Oh, Terry and Dory were great. Obviously, it's one of the greatest teams ever, ever. But a team that we worked with a lot, and we worked in the opening match in the big event with Jesse Jack Funk, who was Jesse Barr, and
Mhm.
Dory Funk Jr. And we had a heck of a match. I mean, just a really, really good match. And that's what I said earlier. Jesse became a very good worker, and Dory is just such a good teacher. I was so fortunate to have Dory Funk Jr. as my teacher so often. I mean, I worked at least 100 times with Dory Jr., and every time I would learn something from him. And he went out of his way to teach something. I mean, him and I are close friends now, and I love that man. I love Dory Jr. He's just an incredible man.
Brian, I could talk to you for the next 2 weeks. We haven't even scratched the surface of your great career. If someone wants to learn more about your career, is there something they should pick up anywhere to learn
Absolutely,
about the man
absolutely, buddy.
himself?
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what, everybody that's read this book, truth be told, honestly, everybody. I mean, go to Amazon and look, and sell it on my own website, or Amazon. And I mean, I've said it before. I'll give you twice your money back if you don't like it. I'm gonna ask you a few questions to make sure you read it, but nobody's ever said they didn't like it. I mean, it's just Ian Douglas is an incredible. I mean, Steve Kern's books are great. He's just coming out with his second one, and the books Ian Douglas does are fantastic. The guy's brilliant, and
What is your website, Brian?
my website. Well, I didn't talk about the Cauliflower Alley Club, so that's my website. Go to caulifloweralleyclub.org because that's what I live for right now. Besides my family is, and my good friends and the good people of this world is my colleagues. And so I work hard at the Cauliflower Alley Club, and you can go to caulifloweralleyclub.org, and for $35, you can become a member. And that's so important to me because, we help so many of the wrestlers. And I've been the president and CEO for over a decade, and we have just grown by leaps and bounds. I mean, we just had an unbelievable reunion. And if you haven't been to a Cauliflower Alley Club reunion, you have no idea what you're missing. So, uh, caulifloweralleyclub.org. My personal website for the Killer Bee store is the killerbees.net/store.